At the kidnapping, the thug gave the billionaire's wife a choice between two men. Without a moment's hesitation, she pointed to my biggest rival, her childhood best friend. Let Leo go. He has a congenital heart condition. The stress could kill him. And me? I was just the husband, the one built strong enough to take a beating. Suddenly, a ghostly feed of text comments scrolled across my vision, an unwanted, phantom overlay only I could see. Hang in there, Ethan. Chloe's an undercover Fed. She's protecting you. Leo Donovan is the son of a mob boss. He can't die. Chloe's playing the long game. You're an ex-ranger. You can take it. Leo's a fragile liability. Saving him is the smart play. Ethan must be heartbroken now, but he'll forgive her when he learns the truth. I stared at the cold, black barrel of the gun pressed against my forehead, then at my wife, her face streaked with tears as she resolutely gave me up. The smart play? Protecting me? The long game? To hell with her noble sacrifice. A manic grin spread across my face as I looked at the kidnapper. A psychotic spark ignited within me. Hey man, don't listen to her. You know who that guy is? He's the secret heir to the Donovan crime family. We should be asking for $50 million. Don't let him go for a penny less. Oh, and that heart condition? It's bullshit. Go on, give him a good kick, and see for yourself. The kidnapper froze. My wife's jaw dropped. The phantom feed exploded. 1. In an abandoned warehouse on the south side of Chicago, I knelt on the grimy concrete. 2 masked thugs stood over me, the barrel of a Glock pressed firmly to my forehead. 10 feet away, my wife, Chloe, had eyes only for Leo Donovan. Leo was pale, clutching his chest, putting on his best soap opera performance of a man about to breathe his last. Pick one, the lead thug said, idly flipping a combat knife. His gaze shifted between me and Leo. You can only walk out of here with one of them. The other one, well, he's leaving a piece of himself behind. Chloe didn't hesitate, not for a single second. Her eyes were red as she pointed a trembling finger at Leo. Let him go. Choose him. Please, I'm begging you, let Leo go. He has a congenital heart defect. He can't handle this kind of stress. Ethan's strong. He can take it. Don't you dare touch Leo. I was stunned. I'd always known she and Leo were close. Childhood best friends joined at the hip, but to be discarded so completely, so instantly, it was like a slap across the face. A searing, humiliating sting. And then it happened again. That damned, ghostly script scrolling across my vision. The text flew by in a frenzy. OMG, Ethan, this is brutal. He has no idea she's doing it to save him. Leo Donovan is mob royalty. The feds need the evidence he's holding. Chloe is deep undercover. She has to earn his trust. Just hold on, Ethan. She's playing 4D chess. Your sacrifice will bring down a whole criminal empire. He must feel so betrayed right now. But when he finds out the truth, he'll be on his knees begging her for forgiveness. Damn, the tragic hero's fate is rough. Hang in there. For the greater good. I read the words floating in the air, and the ice in my veins began to boil. An unholy fire burned through me. For the greater good? Playing 4D chess? My sacrifice? To hell with my fate. So, I get kidnapped, a gun shoved in my face, and abandoned by my own wife. Also, she can star in her own heroic drama of noble sacrifice. And I'm supposed to come crawling back to her, begging for forgiveness later? I'll forgive her in hell. A wave of pure, unadulterated madness washed over me, and in that moment, all my fear vanished. Death? If I'm going down, I'm taking someone with me. I watched as the kidnapper started to release Leo, the gun pressing harder against my brow. Hey, I chuckled. In the dead silence of the warehouse, the sound was jarring. The thug flinched. What's so funny? I ignored him, reaching up and wrapping my own hand around the gun. I yanked it forward, jamming it hard against my own skull. Dude, are you blind? I sneered, my smile wide and unhinged. You're going to let a winning lottery ticket walk away, so you can cash in a scratch-off? Chloe's head snapped toward me, her eyes wide with shock. Ethan, shut your mouth. Do you want to die? The text feed went haywire. WTF, Ethan's lost it. Don't say another word. They'll kill you. He's blowing the whole operation. I shot Chloe a look of pure contempt. Then I turned back to the kidnapper, jerking my chin toward Leo. You know who that is? The thug instinctively asked. Who? The Donovan family's one and only illegitimate son. The old man's prized possession. My words came out in a rapid-fire, euphoric rush. He's holding the key to the family's entire money-laundering operation. It's on a drive in that pendant around his neck. We asked for $50 million, and old man Donovan won't even blink. $50 million bucks, man. Think about it. The kidnapper's eyes lit up with a greedy fire that he couldn't hide. Leo's face went white, genuinely white this time, not the fake, theatrical kind. Chloe shrieked, her voice cracking. Ethan, what are you talking about? Are you insane? Shut up. Shut up. Her eyes were filled with a panicked fury, the rage of someone whose perfectly laid plans were being torched before her eyes. Am I lying? I laughed, louder this time, pointing at Leo's hand still clutching his chest. And another thing, my friend, this guy's heart condition is a complete act. Look at him, clutching his heart like he's auditioning for a medical drama. Last week, he competed in the company's Ironman triathlon. Took home the bronze medal. I got the screenshots from his Instagram. Heart condition? Tell me another one. Don't believe me? I raised an eyebrow at the thug, my gaze turning hard. Put a bullet in his leg. See how loud he screams. You'll find out real quick. The kidnapper was sold. The lure of $50 million was enough to make any desperate man reckless. He swung the gun around, aimed it at Leo's thigh, and without a second thought, pulled the trigger. Bang! The gunshot was deafening. Eh-ha! Leo let out a blood-curdling scream, launching himself off the floor and writhing in agony, clutching his leg. His voice was powerful, his lungs clearly in excellent shape. Not a hint of the fragile, heart-patient weakness he'd been projecting. Guess it was an act, the thug growled, his eyes now fixed on Leo with pure malice. Son of a bitch, you think you can play me? Chloe completely fell apart. She scrambled to Leo's side, screaming at me. Ethan, you bastard. You've killed him. Do you have any idea what you've just done? The comment feed was a wall of digital despair. It's over. The mission is blown. Why didn't the hero stick to the script? Leo's been shot. The evidence link is broken. Ethan is so selfish. I stood my ground, watching Chloe look at me with enough hatred to commit murder, watching the endless stream of accusations float in the air. I raised my hand toward the empty space, toward all of them, and slowly, deliberately, I extended my middle finger. So satisfying, I whispered. 2. When the SWAT team finally breached the warehouse, the scene was pure chaos. Leo was on the ground, howling like a pig at a slaughterhouse. Chloe was sobbing like someone had died. Only I was calm, sitting quietly on a broken crate in the corner, idly turning a shard of glass over my fingers. Later, in the hospital emergency room, a doctor tried to clean the gash on my forehead. Don't bother, I said, waving him off. I snatched a pen from the nurse's station and grabbed a blank prescription form. Mind if I borrow this? Leaning on the reception counter, I wrote 2 large words in clean, decisive strokes. Divorce petition. Just as I finished, the yard doors burst open. Chloe stormed in. She was a mess. Her pantsuit was covered in dirt and Leo's blood. Her hair was a wreck, and her makeup was smeared from crying. When she saw me, there was no concern, no guilt. Only pure, unadulterated rage. Ethan. She rushed toward me, her hand raised to slap me. Do you know you almost got him killed? You destroyed a 3-year federal investigation. Are you an idiot? The slap came, fast and hard. The old Ethan would have taken it. He would have apologized, head bowed in submission. But this was the new Ethan. I caught her wrist in a vice grip. Chloe froze, shocked that I would fight back, and even more shocked by the strength in my grip. Her bones ground together painfully. Let go. You're hurting me. She struggled. The phantom feed started up again, a wave of moralizing nonsense. Ethan, you're being selfish. She did it for the greater good. Let her go. You're hurting your wife. Just apologize. Leo took a bullet, and you're fine. She made a hard choice, and all you're doing is making it worse. So toxic. I stared at her self-righteous face. Hurt. I let out a cold, bitter laugh. My other hand snatched the prescription form and slapped it flat against her face. The sound was crisp and loud. Sign it. Chloe was stunned. The paper fluttered from her cheek, and she instinctively caught it. Her eyes widened as she read the words. A divorce petition? She looked up, her expression a mix of disbelief and escalating anger. Ethan, are you seriously throwing a tantrum right now? Leo is in surgery. I was on a mission. For justice. Can't you be the bigger person for once? Can't you stop being so childish? A mission? For justice. I pulled out my phone and played a recording. I'd made it in the chaos of the warehouse, getting just close enough. Chloe's hushed voice filled the air, gentle, urgent, and dripping with an affection that was impossible to fake. Leo, don't be scared, don't be scared. Ethan's tough, he'll be fine. You're the one that matters. I can't let anything happen to you. The recording ended. The color drained from Chloe's face. Her aggressive posture crumbled, and her lips trembled as she averted her gaze. That was part of the act. To keep Leo calm. To make him trust me. The text feed stuttered for a second before offering a weak defense. Right. It was an act. She had to say that for the mission. Ethan, don't take it seriously. An act. I scoffed. Chloe, it's a crime the Academy hasn't given you an Oscar. I stepped closer, invading her space, forcing her to meet my eyes. What a brilliant mission. If I had died today, what would your next mission-critical act have been? Seducing him? Would you have sent a video of it to my grave to prove your dedication? Why you have to be so crude? She sputtered, shaking with rage. Just then, the doors to the operating room swung open. Leo was wheeled out, still groggy from the anesthesia, but conscious. He moaned weakly, Chloe. She instinctively started toward him, but stopped after one step and glanced back at me. Her expression was complicated. I didn't look at her. I turned my back and gave a dismissive wave. Stop trying to choose. It must be exhausting. This time, I'll choose for you. Sign the papers, get the hell out of my life, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. With that, I strode out of the emergency room and didn't look back. Behind me, Chloe stood frozen, a monument to her own bad choices. 3. I smoked a cigarette outside the hospital entrance, letting the nicotine calm my nerves. After a moment's thought, I turned around and went back inside. Not because I had regrets, because I wasn't finished. Leo was in a private VIP room. Chloe was probably off handling paperwork. I pushed the door open. Leo's leg was wrapped in a thick cast, propped up on a pillow. He was leaning back, scrolling on his phone. When he saw me, he jumped, nearly dropping it on his face. He quickly composed himself, plastering on a look of weak, guilt-ridden sincerity. A masterclass in manipulative bullshit. Ethan, he began, letting out a soft cough and furrowing his brow with practiced vulnerability. Don't blame Chloe. It's my fault my body is so weak. I'm so sorry you got dragged into this, and for everything you had to go through. Listen to that. The smarmy, two-faced routine was thick enough to choke on. The phantom feed, of course, ate it up. See, Leo is so gracious. Now that's class. Ethan, you should learn from him. He just got shot, and he's still trying to make peace. I looked at his pathetic act and smiled. A wide, cheerful smile. Then I turned and quietly closed the door to the room. Click. I locked it. Leo's expression froze, a flicker of panic in his eyes. Ethan, what are you doing? Why did you lock the door? I walked toward him slowly, cracking my knuckles. The joints popped loudly in the quiet room. Body's weak, huh? I said, stopping at his bedside and looking down at him. Bad heart, right? Leo shrank back into his pillows. Ethan, calm down. I'm a patient. I know you're a patient, I said with a grin. And I happen to be an expert in alternative medicine. I specialize in these kinds of chronic conditions. The smile vanished from my face. I ripped the blanket off him. My right hand formed a fist, my middle knuckle extended, and I drove it straight into his gut. Thump. It was a solid, sickening sound. Oof. Leo's eyes bulged. His body folded into a question mark, his mouth gaping silently as he gasped for air. That one, I said, grabbing him by the collar and slamming him back against the pillows, was for faking your illness. Smack. A hard, open-handed slap echoed through the room. And that one, I hissed, was for hitting on my wife. Snot and tears streamed down Leo's face. He flailed uselessly, a complete weakling against my ranger-trained physique. Smack. Another slap, for symmetry. I leaned in close, enjoying the sight of his rapidly swelling face. How's that, Leo? Your heart rate up? Your circulation improving? All his previous composure was gone. He was a blubbering mess, pleading incoherently. Don't. Ethan, I'm sorry. Please don't hit me. The comment feed was in a state of shock. Holy S hashtag T. Is this legal? That was brutal. But I'm not going to lie, that was satisfying. He calls that physical therapy? Frantic pounding started at the door. Ethan, what are you doing in there? Open this door. Open it right now. It was Chloe. I let go of Leo, wiping my hand on his bedsheet in disgust. I straightened my shirt collar and put on my most pleasant smile. Then I walked over and unlocked the door. Chloe burst in. She saw Leo huddled in the corner, face swollen like a prize fighter, and shrieked. Now, what happened to you? She whirled on me. Did you hit him? I shrugged, the picture of innocence. Of course not. I gestured toward Leo. He was complaining of chest pains, so I performed a physical cardiac resuscitation. To get the blood flowing. I gave Chloe a beatific smile. Don't thank me. Just doing my civic duty. 4. My phone started ringing the second I stepped out of the hospital. The caller ID, Mom. I took a deep breath and answered. Before I could say a word, she unleashed a torrent of abuse. Ethan, have you lost your mind? What the hell do you think you're doing? My mother's voice was shrill, laced with fury. Not a single question about whether I was hurt. Only accusations. The Donovans are our biggest business partner. Your father is gone, and this company has only survived because of their support. Chloe was cooperating with the feds for the good of the family. You nearly ruined everything. Do you understand? My knuckles turned white as I gripped the phone. My heart, already bruised, turned to stone. So they all knew. My mother knew. Chloe knew. I bet even Leo knew. The bastard was probably using the feds to take down his rivals inside the family, so he could take over with my wife as his prize. Everyone was in on it, and I was the pawn. The sucker they were all willing to sacrifice on the altar of their ambition. The phantom feed confirmed my suspicions. Oof, his mom was in on it too. Sacrificing your own son for the family business. Savage. This poor guy. His whole world is a lie. Answer me. Are you deaf? My mother shrieked when I didn't respond. You are to get back here right now. You will go to Leo and Chloe, and you will apologize. You will get on your knees and beg for their forgiveness. If you don't, I'm cutting you off. I'll freeze your accounts and revoke your shares. Without this family, you are nothing. You're a worthless failure. I stood on the bustling street corner, the city's indifferent energy swirling around me, and I started to laugh. Worthless? For the last 5 years, who was it that single-handedly patched up the crumbling mess that was Stone Industries? Who wrote the proprietary code that became its backbone? Who secured the international contracts that kept it afloat? That would be me, the worthless failure. Mom, I said, my voice eerily calm. This is the last time I'll ever call you that. There was a stunned silence, followed by an explosion. What did you say to me? How dare you? Since the Donovans are so important to you, why don't you just adopt Leo? I said, my eyes landing on a nearby trash can. As for the shares and the money, you can keep it. Use it to buy Leo a nice coffin. I don't want it. You wouldn't dare. She stammered. Wouldn't I? I let out a short, sharp laugh. Oh, and one more thing. I'm the one who built the firewall for all of Stone Industries' core projects. I hope Leo's a better hacker than he is a fighter. I hung up, blocked her number. The motions were fluid, automatic. I pulled out the keys to the Bentley, the symbol of my status as the heir to the Stone fortune. I tossed them in the air once. Then, with a flick of my wrist, I sent them sailing in a perfect arc. Clang. They landed squarely in the public garbage can. I hailed a taxi. The Peninsula, please. Once inside, I pulled out a sleek, black burner phone that I kept hidden away. I powered it on, entered the 24-digit encryption key, and the screen lit up. It displayed a Swiss bank account interface and access to a massive, encrypted database. The text feed went wild with a mix of awe and fear. Incoming plot twist. Protagonist's secret identity revealed. Holy S hashtag. T. How many zeros are in that account balance? IT was Ethan propping up Stone Industries from behind the scenes. This whole time. Without him, both Stone Industries and the Donovan family are totally screwed. I looked at the number on the screen, enough to buy Stone Industries 10 times over. Then I looked at the folder labeled Pandora. Inside was every dirty deal, every backroom agreement, and every piece of irrefutable evidence of Leo's money laundering operation for the past 5 years. I had collected it to protect my family, a trump card to ensure their security. But now, my finger hovered over the enter key. You all want to play games? You want to push me? Fine. Let's all go down together. I pressed the key. Game on. 5. I changed my mind halfway to the hotel and had the taxi take me to the office instead. Some things you have to destroy with your own 2 hands. Top floor of the Stone Industries Tower. My office. I pushed the door open. Everything was as I'd left it. A framed photo of Chloe and me sat on the corner of my desk. I picked it up. In the picture, I was smiling like an idiot. Chloe was looking somewhere just past the camera, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. Crack. I dropped the frame into the trash can. The glass shattered. I had to sat down when the office doors flew open. Chloe was there, pushing Leo in a wheelchair. His leg was in a cast, and a handprint from my slap was still visible on his cheek. He looked utterly pathetic. Several senior executives trailed behind them, craning their necks to see the drama unfold. Ethan, Chloe slammed the document down on my desk. This is a legal release. Sign it. Leo has agreed not to press charges for what you did at the hospital. Leo coughed weakly from his wheelchair. Ethan, we're all family here. I don't want to make things ugly. Just apologize, and we can put this behind us. The peanut gallery in my head was still spouting nonsense. Just sign it, Ethan. It's the smart move. Leo's being incredibly generous. This isn't the time to be stubborn. I leaned back in my chair, watching their little performance as if they were clowns in a circus. Family, I picked up the document without looking at it and fed it directly into the shredder. The machine whirred to life, turning their offer into confetti. Ethan, don't be an asshole, Chloe snapped. Your mother has already frozen your accounts. You're broke. You won't even be able to afford rent without this family. Just sign the damn thing. Who said I'm broke? I stood up and walked over to the massive presentation screen in the conference area, connecting my phone. Since everyone's here, let's watch something interesting. I tapped the screen. It lit up, not with a corporate slideshow, but with a complex web of financial transactions and several video files. The first video showed Leo in a nightclub VIP room, exchanging a briefcase with known mob enforcers, the same kind of briefcase I described in the warehouse. Next came bank statements, showing millions of dollars being funneled from Stone Industries' corporate accounts into offshore shell companies. The room erupted in gasps. The executives' faces turned ashen. Leo's face went from pale to green. He tried to stand up to stop the video, forgetting about his broken leg. He tumbled out of his wheelchair and landed on the floor with a pathetic thud. What is this? Chloe shrieked, her voice trembling. Where did you get this? This is classified evidence. You're obstructing my mission. Classified? I sneered. This is a criminal conspiracy. Chloe, was your mission to help this piece of trash bankrupt my family's company? Ignoring the chaos, I walked back to my desk and opened the master system terminal. I typed a single command, execute corporate protocol. I wrote the core operating system for this entire company. I announced, my voice carrying over the rising panic as a deletion progress bar filled the screen. Since I'm leaving, I'll be taking my work with me. Oh, my mistake. I meant I'll be destroying it. I hit enter. Instantly, red emergency lights flashed across the entire floor. Alarm bells blared through the building. Every computer screen went black, then displayed a single, massive, red exclamation point. System offline. All data erased. My mother, having heard the commotion, arrived just in time to see the digital carnage. Her eyes rolled back in her head, and she collapsed in the doorway. Ethan, what have you done? Chloe lunged at me, her face a mask of fury. I sidestepped her easily, nudging the groveling Leo with my foot as I passed. You wanted to launder your money, right? My guess is you were planning to use the clean cash to cut ties with your mobster old man and go legit. Not a bad plan. I straightened my suit jacket, a bright smile on my face as I surveyed the beautiful destruction. Unfortunately for you, I just blew up the swimming pool. Good luck washing your cash now. With that, I walked out of the office, leaving a symphony of executive shouting, Chloe's hysterical sobs, Leo's pathetic groans, and the piercing wail of the alarms. What beautiful music it was. The phantom feed was in awe. Holy yes, hashtag T. A tech god. That was the most epic revenge move I've ever seen. Stone Industries is finished. 6. I checked into a penthouse suite at the city's only 7-star hotel. Swirling a glass of Cabernet, I watched the news explode on my tablet. Stone Industries systems suffer catastrophic failure. All operations halted. Donovan family heir implicated in massive money laundering scheme. Federal investigation underway. It was glorious. My phone buzzed incessantly. A storm of texts from Chloe, which quickly devolved from furious threats to desperate pleas. Ethan, you've gone too far. You need to restore the system now. Leo's been taken in for questioning. You're ruining everything. Please, I'm begging you. The mission is at a critical stage. If we can get Leo to flip, we can take down the whole organization. Can't you just cooperate? Cooperate? I laughed. I opened my laptop and bypassed the security on Chloe's personal cloud storage. I was curious what kind of evidence she'd been collecting. The password was pathetically easy. Leo's birthday. Of course. The drive opened, revealing thousands of photos. Every single one was of Leo. Leo shooting hoops, a candid shot of his back. Leo sleeping, a tender close-up of his face. Leo sipping a latte at a cafe. There was even a hidden folder titled, Our Future. Inside were photoshopped wedding pictures of her and Leo, and a list of potential names for their future children. This was her undercover mission. This was her noble sacrifice. The text feed, which had started to waver, finally broke. Wait, is this the evidence? This isn't an investigation, it's a stalker's shrine. She's not a federal agent. She's just an obsessive fangirl. Undercover? More like under the covers with the target. I downloaded the entire folder, zipped it, and sent it directly to her federal handler's email address. I added a short message. Is this your star agent? Using taxpayer money to plan her wedding to the target of her investigation? You might want to have her psych profile reevaluated. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. It was Chloe, and she was hysterical. Ethan, you ruined my career. You destroyed my life's work. I've been suspended. Why would you do this to me? Your life's work, I said, walking to the floor-to-ceiling windows and looking down at the city lights. I thought your dream was to become Mrs. Donovan. I'm just helping you out, Chloe. Without your job in the way, you're free to be Leo's full-time groupie. No more hiding. You should be thanking me. I heard something smash on the other end of the line. Chloe was screaming. Ethan, I hate you. If anything happens to Leo, I'll haunt you for the rest of your life. Funny, I said, taking a sip of my wine. I was just thinking the same thing about you too. With the money laundering pipeline severed, the Donovan family was in chaos. The old man was panicking. Leo wasn't just a target for the feds anymore. Now he was a liability to the mob. He desperately needed a scapegoat. And who better than the foolish, disgraced federal agent who was blindly in love with him and no longer had the protection of her badge? The feed's transformation was complete. Yes, go Ethan. Give this woman the consequences she deserves. This is what happens when you're a terrible person and a terrible agent. LMAO. The show was just getting started. 7. The Donovan family empire crumbled even faster than I'd anticipated. I anonymously leaked the entire Pandora folder to a contact in the FBI's organized crime unit and CC'd a few major news outlets for good measure. Public outrage was immediate and overwhelming. The Donovan family's history of racketeering, money laundering, and bribery became front-page news. Leo was a wanted man, but he ran. Just before the feds closed in, he used the last of his family's influence to slip through the net. But I knew where he was. I had installed a tracker on Chloe's phone, and just as I expected, the stupid woman went right to him. A derelict construction site on the city's outskirts. I opened my laptop and patched into her phone's camera and microphone. The image was shaky and dark. Leo was unshaven, his eyes bloodshot and wild. He had a knife pressed to Chloe's throat. Where's the money? The money Ethan must have given you. He roared, all his charming sophistication gone. He was nothing but a cornered animal. Chloe was sobbing, her makeup a mess. There is no money. Ethan cut me off completely. Leo, please calm down. It's me, Chloe. To hell with you, Chloe. Leo backhanded her across the face. If you hadn't screwed up and let that bastard Ethan run wild, I wouldn't be in this mess. You told me he was wrapped around your little finger. A fool who would do anything for you. So where's the money? Chloe held a hand to her bleeding lip, her eyes wide with disbelief. Leo, you love me, right? You said we were going to get married. Love you? Are you kidding me? He spat on the ground. I was using you. Using your family's connections. Using your badge as cover. And you were dumb enough to believe it. I watched the whole ugly scene unfold on my screen. The feed was merciless. And there it is. The truth. They deserve each other. Lock them in there and throw away the key. Ethan just sipping wine and watching the world burn. King, is she finally getting it? Is that single brain cell firing? Just then, my mother appeared outside my hotel suite, pounding on the door. Ethan, open the door, she wailed, sinking to her knees in the hallway. Please, you have to save Chloe. That lunatic Leo kidnapped her. He's going to kill her. Please, save Chloe, save our family. I opened the door and stood over her, wine glass still in hand. Save her. I gestured to the live feed on my laptop. Call the police. Why are you bothering me? I'm just a concerned citizen. On the screen, Leo was grabbing Chloe by the hair and slamming her head against a concrete pillar. Look, Mom, there's your brilliant son-in-law. The golden boy you chose over me. I held the laptop out for her to see. This is much better than television. My mother stared at the brutal scene, her body trembling. Her eyes rolled back, and she started to faint again. Don't you dare, I said coldly. You'll miss the SWAT team. As if on cue, sirens wailed in the distance on the video feed. Leo panicked. He grabbed Chloe and hauled her to her feet, using her as a human shield. Stay back. I'll kill her if you come any closer. Chloe was limp in his grasp, her eyes glazed over with the absolute terror of betrayal. In that moment, she finally understood what I had felt in that warehouse. The soul-crushing despair of being thrown away like a piece of trash by the one person you trusted. Crack! A single shot from a police sniper. A perfect red dot appeared in the center of Leo's forehead. He collapsed like a puppet with its strings cut. Chloe, covered in his blood, crumpled to the ground. I watched, my face devoid of emotion, and closed the laptop. I posted a new photo to my private Instagram, a picture of my wine glass against the city skyline. The caption, today's agenda, taking out the trash. 8. Chloe spent 2 weeks in the hospital. She avoided prosecution, but was dishonorably discharged from the force for gross misconduct and aiding a fugitive. Her reputation was destroyed. Stone Industries was liquidated in bankruptcy. The family mansion was seized, the luxury cars repossessed. I had already moved into a private beachfront villa in Malibu, spending my days fishing, investing, and enjoying the sun. Life was good, but some people have no shame. One afternoon, I was having a barbecue in my yard with my new business partner, a brilliant and beautiful woman named Alice. My head of security informed me that 2 homeless people were at the main gate, refusing to leave. I wanted to see for myself. Well, what do you know? They weren't just any homeless people. They were my esteemed ex-wife and my dear mother. Chloe was painfully thin, a faded bruise still visible on her cheekbone. Her eyes were empty. My mother's hair had gone completely white. She was hunched over, looking 10 years older than her age. The moment they saw me, their faces lit up, and they both fell to their knees on the hot pavement. Ethan, my mother sobbed pitifully. I was wrong. I was a fool. Chloe was deceived. She knows she was wrong now. She always loved you deep down. Chloe looked up, her eyes brimming with tears. Honey, Ethan, I love you. I finally realize it now that I've lost you. I was so blind. Can we get back together? Please? I promise I'll be a good wife from now on. She reached out to grab the leg of my pants. I took a step back, my expression one of pure disgust. Alice came to my side and linked her arm through mine. Honey, who are these people? She asked. I gave Alice a warm smile. Just some trash. Then I turned back to the 2 kneeling figures, my smile vanishing. Get back together? I scoffed. You mean you're looking for someone to pay off your mountain of debt? The bankruptcy had left them with nothing. They were destitute. No, it's not like that. I really love you. Chloe insisted desperately. I keep thinking about all the good times we had. I really do. Shut up. I cut her off, my voice like ice. Don't you dare insult the word love. Your love is built on my sacrifice. That isn't love. That's being a parasite. I let you leech off me before because I thought you were family. And now, I pointed to the large trash bins by the gate. As far as I'm concerned, there's no difference between you and the garbage in there. The last phantom comment flickered and died. Redemption arc denied. Don't fall for it, Ethan. This is the ending they wrote for themselves. Security, I called out. Please remove this trash from my property. Take it far away. It's ruining my appetite. 2 large guards moved in and hauled them to their feet, dragging them away like sacks of garbage. Ethan, I'm your mother. You'll pay for this. Ethan, I'm sorry. Please, just give me one more chance. Their cries faded down the street. I brushed off an imaginary piece of dust from my sleeve and turned back to the party, my arm around Alice. This steak is perfect. Needs a little more salt, though. 9. A month later, I was on my private island in the Caribbean. I still got news alerts from the mainland from time to time. The Stone family name was officially worthless, buried under insurmountable debt. I heard Chloe, in a daze, walked into traffic. She survived, but with a shattered leg and a permanently disfigured face. She now washed dishes in a diner to survive. As for my mother, the stress of losing everything caused a complete psychotic break. She now wanders the streets, collecting garbage and muttering to herself about the $50 million she almost had. The phantom feed was long gone, but if it were here, it would have been a nonstop stream of praise. Living his best life. This is the way. Focus on yourself. 10 out of 10 ending. No notes. The sun was setting. The ocean breeze was gentle. My phone rang. An unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. Hello. There was only heavy breathing on the other end. After a long moment, a broken, raspy voice spoke. It was Chloe. Ethan, she said, as if the word itself took all her strength. And this is just a hypothetical. If I had chosen you in that warehouse, would things have been different? It was the classic, desperate question of a person drowning in regret. She was searching for a sliver of warmth, a hint of what could have been, a way to rewrite her own history as a tragedy instead of a series of bad choices. I watched the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sea in hues of gold and crimson. My heart was perfectly still. No, I said simply. The line was silent, then I heard a choked sob. Why? You love me. You used to love me so much. Because, I said, my voice quiet but clear, carried away by the ocean wind. The second you hesitated, the Ethan who loved you died right there on that floor. I ended the call. I popped out the SIM card and, with a flick of my thumb, sent it spinning into the vast, deep ocean. It made a tiny splash and was gone forever. The world was finally quiet. 10 years later, the Global Tech Summit. As the founder and CEO of one of the world's most disruptive new tech firms, I stood on stage, bathed in the light of 1,000 cameras. During the Q&A, a young reporter stood up. Mr. Stone, there are rumors about your past, about a dramatic falling out with your family, and a kidnapping that started your independent career. Some call you ruthless, others call you decisive. What's your perspective on what happened? The auditorium fell silent. I adjusted the microphone, looking out at the sea of faces. For a fleeting moment, I saw the dusty warehouse, the barrel of a gun, and a woman's hand pointing away from me. Then I smiled. It was the single best business transaction I ever made, I said, my voice calm and confident. In one day, I traded away all my liabilities and discovered who my real assets were. The crowd erupted in applause. Miles away, in a dark corner of a city, a white-haired old woman adjusted a blanket on the lap of a woman in a wheelchair. The woman's face was a roadmap of scars. They were both staring up at a giant public screen broadcasting the summit. The woman in the wheelchair drooled slightly, her eyes vacant, mumbling a single name over and over. Ethan, Ethan. A passerby gave them a wide berth. Ugh, it's those two again, watching the news about Mr. Stone. It's sad. I heard they used to be rich. Well, you reap what you sow. Come on, let's go. Backstage, a warm hand offered me a glass of water. It was Alice, my partner in business and in life. The one who had stood by me, challenged me, and helped me build a new world from the ashes of the old. I took the water in her hand, my heart completely at peace. There was no lingering thrill of revenge, no trace of regret, only the quiet, profound enjoyment of my freedom. The memory of that gunshot no longer haunted my nightmares. It was a starting pistol, the signal that my old life was over and my real one could begin. They say the most important person you can learn to love is yourself. The final image in my mind was not of a warehouse, but of an island sunset. I raised my glass to the open air, to the past, and to the future. To freedom,